Hi there, it's Rob from the Gym Tin. I hope you're well. Welcome to the second part of this lifestyle tips, all about when's the best time to train. Is it first thing in the morning? Is it in the evening? What's the best thing for you? And the answer to that, as it was covered in part one, is spoiler alert, it hasn't changed in part two either. The best time to train is the best time that suits you. Okay, so the time that you can put in to make your training happen is really, really key. If you are just getting into exercise, I highly recommend finding a time of the day that A, you're going to stick to, B, you're going to enjoy doing it to, so you're not waking up dreading it, and C, just getting the most enjoyment and fun out of it, because it's going to give you more endorphin release, more dopamine release as well, more serotonin release. You're going to feel great for doing it eventually as you get into it. Okay, so as promised, this is part two of it. There's quite a few more points. And I was going for more of the swing of if you train in the morning, it's a good time to train. And the reason behind that is you get it done. It's out of the way, it's done, and there are many, many health benefits as a result of doing so. So, last week we talked about you get fewer distractions first thing in the morning, you're beating the heat, you've got healthier food choices as a result because you've done that exercise. You don't want to undo the good work that you've done there. It gives you increased alertness. It's going to make you have overall more energy. And if you're studying, or you've got children or students that are studying, it's a really good thing for that because it helps them to be better focused and also be in a better mood. So there we go. Right, moving on to this week. So what else can I tell you about the benefits of exercising first thing in the morning? Well, as you will know, with any diet that's out there, they will always say, as part of a balanced training program, drinking plenty of water, sleeping well, and doing some form of exercise. So absolutely, exercise supports weight loss. But not in the way that you probably think. So when we do a reduced carbohydrate or reduced protein or reduced fat diet, we're putting less calories in. The calories in, calorie out deficit can create a bit of a problem because although we are losing weight because we're burning up more calories than we're actually putting in to do with our basal metabolic rate, we have to be sure that we're not breaking down the strength of the body and breaking down the muscle fibers as well. So we're losing muscular strength and body composition at the same time as losing unnecessary weight on our body. So we need to keep that strength training going. And the reason behind it is it keeps our metabolism high. If you missed the talk about that a couple of weeks ago, check back into the archives and see what that was about. We want you to keep your body strong and healthy, whatever it is. So keep doing exercise and keep moving. Some days you're going to find that training really, really difficult. So by doing it first thing in the morning, you're fresh, you're alert, you've got up, you've got a real good chance of doing a really good training program. That said, I will chuck a little caveat in here as well. Afternoons tend to be a time of the best time for strength training. The reason behind that is your body's been warmed up, it's ready to go. It's been moving around throughout the day, assuming that you work and wake up at, 7 o'clock and go to bed at 10, for example. If you work shift work, obviously change the hours down to suit you. But what we're looking at is trying to get strength training in for you to making sure that you can help support losing weight. And again, although the gains in the afternoon or the evenings are slightly better because your body is warmed up, there's nothing wrong with strength training in the morning, so get that training done. And they found that those people, obviously, that burnt and did their training in the morning, they fully invigorated their body. You have a spike in your metabolism, so it takes you longer to recover from that throughout the day. So there's a benefit for you. So therefore, your fat burn throughout the day over a 24-hour period is longer. They've done a lot of research about this and comparing people who train at morning, afternoon, and evening over separate sessions, and they found those that had the 24-hour fat burn the longest were those that exercised in the morning. And crucially as well, by this research, it was saying before breakfast as well. So if you're looking to lose weight, morning exercise might be the key for you. Now, appetite control. That's the next bit I want to talk to you about. So exercise, mentally it makes us so much more prepared, but there's some key hormones in our body that relate to the hunger hormone. And the hunger hormone is ghrelin. It's the one that's telling you that you're either hungry or thirsty. It's a really important hormone because if we didn't have it, would we be encouraged to eat? The answer is obviously no. But what we need to do is try and regulate that with a few other hormones. One of them is leptin, the other one is peptide YY, and then there's glycogen-like peptide 1. Those three are really, really important when they work together because we're trying to suppress the need to eat more food. So we're working at controlling that hunger a bit more. So there was some research that was done, and they looked at people walking on treadmills for 45 minutes in the morning, and then they looked at their brainwaves about how they controlled the need and the desire for food. And by exercising in the morning, they've obviously been able to control that better. When they did the same test when they hadn't exercised in the morning, the patterns were a little bit more irregular, and therefore they wanted to eat more food. So there we go. So that's quite interesting. As a result, if you train first thing in the morning, you've done your workout. So goes without saying, you do have a natural overall increased amount of activity throughout your day. Because you can always plan to do a workout in the evening, get to the evening and go, do you know what, it's been one of those days, and park it. So a great way of getting it done, getting it out of the way is really important. A lot of people as well struggle with type 1, type 2 diabetes. This next point is about blood glucose control, especially those who've got type 1 diabetes and the risk of hypoglycemia or low blood sugar levels. And it was, they did a test on 35 adults and to do separate sessions of morning and afternoon treadmill work. And they found that those who did the training in the morning rather than those who did the training in the afternoon presented lower risks of hypoglycemic effects after training. So if you do struggle with type 1 diabetes, there's evidence out there that suggests the best time for you to train is first thing in the morning. The next final 2 points I was going to bring up to you is about blood pressure management. Of course, any form of exercise is going to help you with this and help controlling hypertension or high blood pressure. So looking at training on a treadmill at 7 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 o'clock in the evenings, and people wore blood pressure devices. And the favourable changes in blood pressure were those people that did their training first thing in the morning. So the get up and get going analogy that we've always had since the Industrial Revolution, the premise still stands to today. Get up and get moving. And then finally, and this is quite an interesting point, I really, really like this, is because there's so much research about sleep at the moment and how we can improve our sleep. And one of the best ways of improving sleep is by getting up and actually having a motive and incentive to get up in the morning. It's a bit of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where we're looking at the base level of your requirements of your life: hunger, food, shelter, food. But one of the key parts in that base level is having a purpose and sense of need. And so if you know that you're going to train and you have to get up in the morning, whether it's for work, for training, or for family, or whatever it is, you will tend to have better improved sleep than if you don't have a goal and purpose in the morning. So if you do enjoy your training in the morning and it's something you can get into, it will improve your sleep. That's the evidence behind that as well. So there we go. So a bit of a recap for you. Is there a right time to train? No, there's not. It's down to it's down to you. How can you fit in your training? Because you're going to burn the calories, you need to do the strength training. Evidence does suggest there's lots of favourable reasons for training first thing in the morning. And we do a bit of a recap from the session from today. You get it supports your weight loss. It works on your appetite control throughout the rest of the day, so it's a great way of training first thing, get it done. It gives you an increased overall activity. It suppresses your blood glucose control. It's really good if you've got elevated or hypertension for your blood pressure. And then finally, because you've exercised and you've got that routine into your lifestyle, it will improve your sleep as well. Hope you found that really interesting. Lots and lots of information there as always. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, got to do this at the start. Grab your pint of water, have a sip, have a good drink of water, and I'll see you next time for the next one. Thank you so much for joining me. That was the lifestyle tips about exercising in the morning. There we go, part 2 complete. Thank you for joining me. See you next time for the next one.